Notice that all along I've been talking about arguments that exhibit good logic as being well formed. That is, they have good patterns of argument. And the question is, how will argument patterns help you figure out if the logic is good or if the logic is bad? And I think there are a few ways in which they're going to help you. After working with them for a while, that is, you're going to do a bunch of exercises to recognize it, you'll begin to recognize arguments as following valid or invalid patterns. So it's going to make you're going to know certain patterns are valid, certain patterns are invalid. Finding counterexamples also to an argument isn't always practical. Because if you think about what are you going to do in the middle of a sentence, wait a second, I need to think about some counterexamples before you go on. I want to make sure your logic is good. I mean, you really don't have that as an option. And let me tell you, even if you're clear-headed, even people who've done this for many years, like me, make mistakes when they're looking at counterexamples. I've convinced myself of that invalid things were valid, for the past 30, 40 years. And finally, finding the counterexample, isn't foolproof. That is, it's an art, and it's really, really, really easy to make mistakes, and especially if you're pressed for time thinking about it, like on an exam or something, that you can run into trouble. So that's why we're going to focus our attention now on logical form, on well-formed arguments, to see which ones are well-formed, which ones are ill-formed, and that's going to help us tell us where the logic is good or bad in an argument so that we can recognize it. And it shouldn't be a surprise, given what I've just said before, that we're going to talk about some predicate logic forms or patterns, and we're going to be talking about some propositional or sentential logic forms. So that's what we're going to turn our attention to next.